Alright, so I'm going to go over volume profile and the ways you can use it. I'm not going to go over what it is. It's common knowledge. It's just volume by price, and as time goes on and we explore new prices, it adds on to that volume. Right? We normally build value in the same areas and it just grows. Alright, so I'm going to go over the ways you can use it. Alright. So first we have imbalance. Alright, it's really shit. So whenever we're balanced, you normally want to play the shelves. Alright, the extremes, obviously. These are one of the main things I'm going to be playing, unless it's short-term value. Alright, so what I mean by here on this TPO on the side, our shelves are right here. So this is what we'd play. Alright, I'd ignore this. I don't really play high volume nodes unless it's short-term value. Alright, and what I mean by that is, let's see if there's an example on the right profile. I mean, I don't see an example, but here I have a bunch of shelves marked out. Alright. Is there an example of... Yeah, there was right here. So before all this other volume was built. Alright. Short-term value, I would consider it to be this right here. We built some value before falling lower. Alright. So obviously we fell, made this imbalance. So shelf here, and then we have short-term value. So the way I would mark this out is like this. I'd just mark out this zone right here. And I would wait for a rejection off of that. But that's what we had. I'd probably get in around here, close it at the VWAP. Not a bad trade idea right there. But as you can see, as more volume was traded there, that turned into a shelf. So we would be able to reference this point again. Probably be more something like this. And you can see how this played out. Really nice. Alright, so what you want to be playing are the extremes of value. You never want to get caught in anything in here, alright, because it's just low probability. You want to be playing this, maybe something here, this for sure, this, alright. These ledges, alright, and a ledge is basically volume profile. Ledges are right here. Alright, they're just really extreme fall-offs. Alright, and then a shelf is more of zone. Alright, and ledges can be as like one line. So right here, some examples of this in this profile just alone. This is a zone. This is a ledge. Alright, this could be a ledge or a zone depending on what you want. This is a ledge, ledge, ledge. Alright. This is a zone. Like, it's pretty simple, but you can see this played out nicely, this played out nicely. Whenever you're marking out your shelves, you want to see how much times they've played out in the past, because they normally do. So like you see this, it's played out already a couple times. So these shelves normally get played a couple times, right? Because if you think about it, bigger picture, let me go higher. if we're building value, right, we're obviously going to have a shelf there. So it makes sense for us to react off of it a couple times, all right? Now, obviously, it's not going to look like this. It doesn't look like the same, but we are going to have multiple points of value and maybe one big one. So in here, we have shelves right here, a large shelf right here, shelf, then we have the large shelf, this one, right? So we're going to probably have multiple taps here, maybe some more taps, break, tap, 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 then some more taps here, maybe play these two shelves, right? So there's going to be, this is one of the things you want to look at, all right? You want to see if we've had, all right, boom, we had some taps on this shelf, we're going higher, so you want to get in there again. So for later reference, you have that shelf and you're like, okay, we've already showed some resistance and some support from this, all right? Buyers are trying to hold their positions, they're getting aggressive as we go into here. So you want to see that pattern continue, all right? Very simple, all right? And another concept you should grasp, all right, is the concept of prior resistance, new support, prior support, new resistance, all right? Meaning, if we found, let's do it like this, all right? If we found support down here, all right, this could literally just be your shelf. My fault. All right, this could be a shelf and it's your support. If we then do something, maybe we're holding higher prices and then we end up breaking, all right, sellers create an imbalance, all right, sellers are aggressive. This support is new resistance, all right, so it transitions over to resistance unless buyers are able to break through it and do like a continuation. So they break through it, this resistance turns into support, right? That's all it is. That's the whole concept. And yeah, support and resistance sounds really new, but look at you're using fucking fair value gaps. So go suck someone off. I don't know. Support and resistance works. Like, it's one of the best concepts other than AMT. It's the second best, and it's basically AMT. If we're auctioning off, there's going to be a lot of sellers and buyers, so resistance support. So here, this is new resistance. Pair it with your shelf, right? It's common sense. You want to short off of that. And if you want us to start to build value a little lower, then you want to start to go bid here, short it here, unless we break, and then play the retest. Because this resistance is now new support. Alright, it's just that easy. So if you're not familiar with that concept, there it is. That's all it is. I mean, you can see it on here. It's not like unusual. I mean, here we can see that we clearly found support here in this zone. I mean, it's not easy to see maybe for you, but we had a shelf here, went bid, boom, bid, and then buyers stepped up a little higher, also with the context of VWAP. Alright, so just to recap, because I know I've just been all over the place in this video because I'm not a fucking YouTuber. Your volume profile. Normally, you want to be playing the shelf. Alright? How you mark your shelf out, I don't care if you use like fucking Quant Tower. Like, look at this shit. It looks ugly as hell. But if you want to, you can use Quant Tower. I mean, it's the same data. Just, I mean, I guess you can just change your tick size, but ideally you want to be playing the shelves. All right. But in instances where, let's say, we had a large value up there, then down here it kind of dies down. We have a like spike in value, and then another thing right here. Here you would want to play this whole zone, the edges and the volume point of control for this area. All right, so this is your short-term value, and this is the only scenario where I would be looking at just the whole zone. All right, and I already showed you an example of that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, I don't really look at point of controls other than like take profits and whatnot. I don't know if I want to go in depth with like the odds of price doing certain things based on volume and whatnot, but if you get these basics down, like, all right, this TPO has all the volume that was built up over here. All right, so we already have this. All right, volume fades off over here, so we don't really have a ledge. I mean, here volume faded off, here. All right, so you have 3 levels. All right, so let's mark those out really quick, and then I'll go, or I'll end this video. So what the fuck? So here you have your shelf. All right, we did get 1 tap into that. Nothing crazy at all. Down here, shelf, and then further we have another one. All right, these are pretty shit in my opinion, but yeah, this volume doesn't look good. I mean, you can just see based off of this, like, clearly we've had some taps in the, like, we've had taps up here, we've had taps down here, we've had taps up here. So boom, that checks off. We know that it's worked before. So this support right here, this resistance is new support. So let me actually draw it out with colors so you can really get this concept down. I don't know who's watching this video, to be honest. I'm just making it for a couple people. So this resistance, and you're anticipating this to turn into support, and you want this support to stay the same. That's what it did. All right, so boom, there's the concept. I don't care what you jerk offs think, it's how it works. There's videos that go 7 years back of a dude just saying the same thing that worked for firms, trades the bond or the bund, and they use that. They use the same thing I just said. All right, and you can just see how it worked out. Like here, prior taps, and then boom, fucking move right there. All right, and then that's just shelves, right? Short-term value. All right, we didn't reject sharply, but we did have this value that we built up right here. So you're obviously going to want to do something with this. All right, you're not going to mark out these mini shelves right here. Like, what the fuck are you doing at that point? Unless you're trying to be a fucking RR TikTok kid, just mark out the zone. And there's your zone, right? I mean, right here, I remember taking these 2 trades. I remember this day and this day. I took those 2 trades. But after that, that's resistance, all right? And we build a shelf there. So now you have this ledge right here, and then you also have this ledge right here. And just look what we did to that. We responded to it, all right? Sellers came back in, and they wanted to defend it and then CPI, buyers wanted higher prices. They broke out of this whole area of value, or this whole balance. And on higher time frame, this is just a simple value breakout, and then we're gonna find new value higher, right? Maybe we use this shelf right here to maybe tap into, but we didn't have that. All right, so it's very AMTs on any time frame. I could go on the 1 minute and show you 1 minute representation of auctioning off. Obviously, it's kind of on the back, but like here we have value. All right, here we just auctioned off new prices. All right, before we found value, we broke out. Resistance, remember, is newfound support. All right, if we're breaking above this, I mean, obviously you compare it with VWAP, but remember, resistance, and then it's newfound support. All right, that's how the markets work. I don't know what the fuck you want me to say. It's basic, but it fucking works. It's better than using some other bullshit, right? So you could use that, but this is on the 1 minute, right? It's not going to be perfect on the 1 minute, but yeah, it's 1 minute example of it. It's really simple. Value, right? Remember, same thing right here. Resistance, and then newfound support. All right. That's why all these ICT terms have something in order flow to do with, but order flow is just more consistent in my opinion than ICT. Like, it's just stupid. I mean, here we have a large form of value. All right, I can guarantee you there's a shelf right here, and this gave you an opportunity right here, but we're in value. I wouldn't. This is also the 1 minute. That's why it looks so shit. But yeah, there's nothing else to really go over. I mean, I covered most of the topics. I'm not gonna do a more in-depth one. This is just volume profile, right? And if you want to use Quantower, I mean, what the fuck is that? Like, fuck no. This is my ES chart too, and no, this is NQ. But yeah, 17-minute video. Yeah.